Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens, all day, every day, with your host, Justin B. My co host, the lovely Shannon Finch. This is episode 31 for the YouTube channel. And for the audio version, all the links are right there in the description at the bottom, so you'll see it. Hey, welcome back. It's mock draft Tuesday, so we're gonna get into it. So before we start, Shannon, anything you want to say to the good people?
No, I'm excited to with the combine being this week, we're starting to get quotes from different teams, and I heard that the Ravens are supposed to talk tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to hearing whatever they have to say.
And I didn't even know that. I'm glad you brought that up. I was so busy with work, and so by me working mornings now, I can't really check my phone like that, so I'll be missing out on some of the stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah. So all right, we're gonna get right into it. So Shannon, you can go first. With your mock draft 2.0.
Okay. So this go around, I did make some trades. Okay. So I'm just gonna say who I picked, and the number they were picked. And it's basically the same thing I was saying last week. It's more or less about what we need and what I know we need. So I'm going there and what was available at that point and how they were ranked, based on the simulator. So again, 22. I was trying to trade our first round pick, but nobody was trying to make any trades with me. So I had to pick at 22. So I have Jalen Hyde from Tennessee, wide receiver from Tennessee. I think he could be a good fit for us as well. At number 88, I have Byron Young, a defensive tackle from Alabama.
Yeah, yeah.
As we talked about last week, that's a need for us. We need to get younger. We need to get fast up front. The more guys we can bring in, the better we can be rotational wise. Like we said, that with the Eagles, that was one of their better things they were doing defensively was rotating guys. So we can definitely get a few defensive tackles in or defensive lineman. Period. I think that could benefit us on all levels of our defense. With the 121st pick, I picked Isaiah McGuire, edge rusher from Missouri. Again, we know that we need help in the pass rusher field position, and even with the ones we've drafted the past 2 years, I don't know if they're that. So I feel like we got to keep going until we get our guy. Um, so I thought he would have been a good pick there. At 136, I picked the quarterback. I'm sorry, cornerback Corey Treese from Purdue.
Corey Trice.
Um, Trace. Like my friend, I call my friend Trace. So I don't know if it was Trace or Trace, but Corey Trace. I picked him because I do feel like our history, we have an issue with our DBs and health. So up to me, we can never have enough DBs, and I feel like it's about time to bring in somebody young, to start replacing guys that we know won't be here in the next 2 to 3 years. Like we got to start thinking about that as well. At 150, I picked an offensive guard, Braden Daniels from Utah.
Yeah,
From what I saw about him, he's kind of versatile. And that's one thing that we do when we pick offensive linemen. A lot of them are versatile, which benefits us
play
in
more than
case,
one spot for us. You got to play more than one spot.
yeah. And from what I saw, he's that guy that can do that. At 172, I picked Jackson Player, a defensive tackle from Baylor.
Yeah,
Again, that's just for depth. Bring him in. Can never have too much competition, particularly when we need to get strong up there. At 182, I have a wide receiver from Stanford, Michael Wilson. Again, it's just bringing in depth to bring in competition and see what we can do. And then at 199, I drafted a wide receiver from Maryland, Dante Demas Jr.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So again, those are just positions that I feel like are really needs for us when we think about the draft. And I'm just thinking about bringing people in that can compete and probably have the best guys out for our position. I mean, for each position. I only did one draft, a full draft, right? But I did do another draft, and I got one person to bite on a trade in the first round, and we moved back to the 25th pick. I think it was the Giants that I traded with on this one.
Okay.
And I picked a wide receiver from LSU, Kayshawn Boodle,
Bodie, Keyshawn Bodie.
Bolding. So this one it was just one pick, but that was a first round pick. That was a different one that I did. If I moved back with the Giants, we would have got that pick in the first round. But that's all I had for my mock pick this week.
Me, the first one, I ain't do no trade, so give me 1 second, Jan.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm back, Shannon.
Everything
Okay,
okay?
first round, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Zay Flowers, wide receiver. I ain't do no trades, by the way. I just straight picked on these.
Hmm.
Third round, 86. I took Kobe Wooden, the edge rush out of Auburn.
Okay.
125. I took Trey Palmer, wide receiver out of Nebraska. And 159. I took Julius Brents, corner out of Kansas State. Uh,
Okay.
round six, pick 200. I took Chris Rodriguez, running back out of Kentucky. So like I said, I don't know what's going on with Justice Hill and King Drake. So you get utility back. Now the
Hmm.
second one, Flowers again at 22. Darius Bush at 86. 125. Caillou Blue Kelly, cornerback out of Stanford, big corner. 159. Jonathan Mingo, wide receiver.
Hmm.
200. Darrell Luther, cornerback out of Southern Alabama. So that's two. I just strictly picked on the board. I didn't do no trades there. So all right, any prospect, Shannon, that you want to talk about that you probably saw that you like? Okay, I really
I'm
like.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you one person, and I'm not even gonna say he caught my eye. It's just that he caught my eye because people were talking about him, and particularly in Ravens groups, they were saying if we don't keep Lamar, we should go get him. So it made me look at him like, because first I didn't think that highly of him, and I'm talking about the quarterback from Florida, Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like if you, and this is not like you can tell me more about who you feel like is not getting the attention, but I feel like for whatever reason, I don't know what happened over the past week. Like he's starting to like fly up people's radar, and I'm kind of like, is it fool's gold or is it real? Like, is he going to be a guy that's going to go to the combine, put up all the numbers, do everything that you want him to do, interview the right way, and be fool's gold, meaning he's not ready, where he might be picked. I seen some guys saying that he might even go in the first round now, and I'm like, that's interesting. Might be a little bit of a reach. Not really. I'm not sure, but in comparison to the other guys that have the big name quarterbacks coming out, he hasn't even been in the mix from what I've seen up until like the past week. It's like things have changed for him, and I'm not quite sure why. So I can't answer your question about who's not getting the attention, but he's getting my attention right now because I'm like, well, who is he now? Now he's making me want to see everything he does combine wise because I didn't see a lot of him during the season. From what I've seen, his numbers weren't anything to write home about. But when I start seeing Ravens fans say, sign this person, sign that person, sometimes it gives me cause to pause, but I always look into it. And when I looked into it, I wasn't overly impressed, but I'm intrigued. What do you think about him?
Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you said the quarterback, you must be preparing just in case Lamar don't want to, just
Well,
in case.
for me,
Yeah.
not even for me. I'm saying like from looking at other Ravens fans, they were like, if you're gonna get rid of Lamar, get him. And I immediately was like, I rolled my eyes because in my mind, if we don't keep Lamar, I don't think we should go get somebody that's like Lamar. You know what I mean? Like, because he's not Lamar, but I don't think that would be the right thing to do. So yeah, like what do you think about him?
Anthony Richardson's a solid prospect, but he's only been a starter for 1 year. So
Mm-hmm.
I scratch my head like, do you really want to invest your
No.
future? I'm not because you got guys that have been 1 year starters and came in the league and produced, but
Mm-hmm.
his game tape, he don't blow me away. He's a good player, but
Right.
he's like, oh yeah, I gotta take him in the first round. Like,
And that was my thing. When I saw Ravens fans talking about it, it made me look like, well, let me see. And to me, it was just that highlight. Like anybody can have a highlight. That doesn't mean that, you can come in. Like Lamar was ready to me. Lamar was ready when he came into the league.
three
Even though
years,
he didn't start.
three
Yeah,
years.
he was ready. Yeah. So like I said, I don't think it's a matter. I guess for me with Anthony, it's more like, why is he? Why is he shooting up people's radar now? Like what changed, since the season end to make people feel that way?
Yeah, and they lost their last bowl game, but he did have like 405. He did have 500 yards of total offense. That's probably what made everybody jump so high on him. Because he did put on a show. He lost though, but
Yeah.
he put up.
I mean, anybody can perform good in a game. Like you said, to me, one season, even though people have done it, like played one good game, they come into the league and they have success. I don't think he did enough.
I,
Like people said that about Joe Burrow. Like they were questioning it about him when he came into the league because they felt like he only had the one good year with LSU. But I think that he proved everybody wrong with, I don't think that's the conversation anymore.
like
So
I
who
say,
who are you?
he just still he got a lot of ways to go. He could be a good starter, but he's gonna have to sit behind somebody for at least 2 seasons until you're comfortable to say, all right, cool, now it's time to let him play. Because if Jordan Love, who was a better prospect, me personally, than Anthony Richardson is when he
Hmm.
was, I think he gonna have to sit behind somebody, and then that's why Tampa will be a good spot for him because they got weapons and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Ways so he can already come in, and he don't got to do a whole lot. And then plus he's in the state
Hmm.
already, so that'll be that's the only
What
thing.
can what may help him is, Lamar, Jalen, Kyler, like these particular type of quarterbacks that have had success. A team might look at it like, well, we can get a guy like that and he can be our guy, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I was just wondering, like, what was it about him that he had me intrigued. I'll put it that way. I was just like, I want to know more about him because I'm just like, people are starting to throw his name around.
Very true, very true. But like I say, I think he'll be a good starter. But day one, no, he's going to definitely have to sit into the season to really grasp the NFL concept and to really polish because his passing mechanics is still like I want to use the term lazy because he don't step into his role. And then he got realized in the NFL you can't try to run people over. Like he play like his player comp for me would be Cam Newton more than Lamar.
I was about to say like Cam play like a linebacker.
They're both the same size, 6'5", 245, 250. Played a similar, I mean, both same school before Cam transferred to Florida. So yeah, like I said, I think he'll be a good starter, just not day one. So you really
Hmm.
aim to take him. You got to have some pieces around, like the Bucks. Somebody like the Bucks will probably be a good fit for him because they pick what 20 in the 20s, 18, 19, 20.
They
So
should, yeah.
yeah, like I said, if they don't get rid of their weapons, he got three receivers, a solid tight end. They cut Leonard Fournette, but they'll probably draft a running back. Pick one up. So and then they got
Hmm.
line back, and they got a pretty steady defense. So he's coming to a ready-made team. So he won't be asked a lot. Whereas if he's go to the Colts or to a team like the Panthers or stuff, whereas the talent not as good, then he's going to
Hmm.
fall. But I like him with the prospect, but he's like borderline first round, second round to me.
I'm surprised that he would even be that high. Like I was surprised about people projecting in the first round. I was like,
He's
okay, we'll
quarterback,
see.
great. So somebody always got to get hyped up to get it's always going to be
Yeah.
able through the cracks that probably like Zach Wilson, he should have probably been a second round pick, but he went second overall.
Mm.
I,
That guy. So who you looking at?
I'm looking at this kid out of Central Michigan, Thomas Incone,
Hmm.
linebacker defensive end. He quietly had 13 and a half sacks last year, so he was coming off the edge, man. Like he's 6'6", 270.
He big.
He'd be a good fit with us because, like I say, he play all three downs. First, second,
Hmm.
stop the run. He can get after the quarterback. He dropping coverage, like I said, even lined up inside a couple times and got some rushes and got pressure. So he
Okay.
reminds me of a Delius Thomas,
Mm.
right?
I'm gonna
Versatile.
keep. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna be looking for him during the combine.
Right, right. Just get your own take for it. You might feel
Hmm.
different. I'm just giving my opinion. My word is not the
Oh,
holy.
of course.
So but he's very versatile. So I like what I saw out of him, and he want to get some top competition tackles too, because he played at Central Michigan. So when he played against the Power Five schools, he did his thing. He still produced and got sacked. So
Hmm.
one thing on pass rushers, if you can rush the passer, you want to be good whether what school you went to. It's like the kid from Jackson State over in Detroit now. I think it's James Hudson. He had like 8 sacks this year. So just pass rushes, that's just translate more than other stuff. Because if you can beat an offensive lineman, you can just beat them flat out. So
As long as you don't have a defensive coordinator that's holding you back or a scheme that's holding you back.
I absolutely, I think that's what happened with Matt Judon here, me personally. 'Cause
I was
they,
about to say. I was about to say that him and Him and Zadarius though, because Zadarius was a different person with the Packers.
There you go. Like they would have just let them guys pin their ears back and just go rush. Them guys would
Mhm.
take sacks a year because they athletic, strong, and can get off the ball. So
Mhm.
Pete Thomas and Kuhn or somebody, and then another guy I was looking at a wide receiver. I was looking at this kid, Tyler Scott out of Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Yeah, 6'1". You know, like 6'1". Yeah, I mean, he could play in the slot outside. He's like a day two, day three guy. Go up and attack the football. Like I said, he could be a
We
good
need that.
yeah, you can see he'll run block. You can give jet sweeps around the corner, stuff like that. You know,
Mhm.
he just always just win at the line of scrimmage. He go up and attack the football like there's nobody business. And that quarterback of Cincinnati wasn't good this year, because Desperado wasn't there, so they started a freshman, but still, he still put up good numbers though, man. So Tyler Scott, and then who else? Who else stood out to me? Let's see. Oh, Garrett Williams, the cornerback out of Syracuse, pretty good this year.
Hmm.
Big corner too, like 2, 3, I think he got like 4 or 5 interceptions this year. He come up and tackle as well. And Syracuse had
Mhm.
a pretty good team this year. They were like 7, 8, 0 at one point. So that he's another one. What about you, Sean? Anybody else?
No, like I told you, um, Anthony had just caught my eye this week. Since we recorded last week, because everybody's just been posting about him, so it made me he was intriguing to me, and that's what I've been looking into. And while I was looking into him, I saw about the other quarterbacks. I was going to ask you, what do you think about what's his name, Bryce Young? What do you think about Bryce Young not throwing at the combine?
He probably gonna save all that for the pro day, honestly.
Yeah, he said he's going to save it for his pro day, but you don't think that will matter? Because I mean,
Uh,
him and CJ were kind of like the top quarterbacks they were talking about in the
yeah,
draft.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's not gonna matter that much. As long as he do the other stuff, the broad jump and all that stuff, he'll be all right. Like I said, he go to the combine and he just put on a show. He's gonna be a top 5 pick regardless, so he's not gonna fall no
Hmm.
either one of them. So it's like,
Wouldn't matter.
why does it really matter? Like we're gonna fall no further than 5, both of them. So
Hmm.
won't be the
I get
first
it.
taken off the board. So if he want to feel like he don't want to, go mess his arm up or anything like that, I can respect it because, like I said, their spots are basically solidified. Just which team are going to take him. That's all. So,
I
what
think
about you?
we're going to get more to that point where some guys aren't going to want to do a lot of things at the combine. They're trying to do away with it almost.
Yeah, just do pro days. I just do the pro day. Scouts got enough game tape and to see what you like or you don't like. All that extra shit people running around. I call it the underway Olympics.
Hmm.
Guys can go there
I
and
agree.
bench press 225 30 times and then get on the field and just be like, what's the old saying? Look like Tarzan, play like Jane, like that type thing. So
Yeah, like their resume is what they did in college. What else do you need to know? You might want to talk to them, get to know 'em. I don't mean
everything will be more
I
pivotal.
watch the combine, but it's like you said, it's a waste of time in the sense that you still go do your pro day and you do a lot of the same stuff there as well. So it's like whatever.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
like
good for us to give us something to talk about, something to look at on TV.
it's good for because it's something to watch. So we go, oh, okay, we see this person run a 40. Okay, let's look at him.
Right.
Like, so it gives
But
you.
that I think the combine also fools a lot of people too, though, because you'll just see the speed of somebody and think that because they're fast, they can do particular things, and then they get to your team and can't do nothing to help you. So it's the combine is just interesting to me. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it has its purposes, like I say, because you got guys from small schools that get more exposure.
Yeah.
They're doing the same stuff that the Power Five guys doing. That can shoot them up the ladder. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Walker went from being a third round pick to a first overall pick by having a good combine and pro day. So
Who?
Trayvon Walker, um,
Oh.
yeah, he took first overall. Played on Georgia last year.
I mean, it can help. I think it definitely can help some people. It can benefit a lot of them. But some of them got like the people that like the big name guys that you expect to be drafted in the first round. It's like I'm sure they don't want to do it. They don't care to do it, but it's just a part of the process.
Yeah, like David Ajabo, if he ain't get hurt, he would have been in the first round for sure. So that actually worked
We
out.
got to steal with that.
Yeah, yeah, we got a first round talent guy in the second. Literally,
Hmm.
we got to
I ain't
flip
gonna
it.
lie, because I wanted us to draft him last year, and when he got hurt, I was like, dang. But when we got him, I told my brother, I was like, Tony, this was who I wanted. Like when we talking about first round picks, I'm like, this is one of the guys I wanted. Like we got to steal with him. So I'm looking forward to seeing him next year as well.
Yeah, the only
Like
difference,
really, really do it from the beginning.
only difference with taking him in the second versus the first, now you got to sign him after his third year because
Oh yeah.
the option was second round pick. So it's like that's the only thing. If you want to keep him, you got to sign him after the third year and go ahead and get it out the way.
Well, if he performs, I don't think that'll be a problem. But we'll see, because lately we don't know about the Ravens and who they want to play. Pay.
That's true. That's very true. But
Mhm.
who else? Let's see. Couple offensive linemen stood out to me. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Jason Patterson from Notre Dame. He has played center, but he's going to play guard in the NFL.
Okay.
320 pounds, big guy, real big. So he could be that possible replacement for Ben Powers. I'm saying he's going to go cash out free agency and go get some money and do his thing.
Hmm.
Plug him right there next to Tyler Linderbaugh. Now we gotta pick right up where we left off. We always find good offensive linemen.
Always.
And we got
Can't draft. Can't get some wide receivers. We can draft. We can draft the offensive lineman for sure.
line,
And
tight
it's
end,
tight end, running back.
and corners and linebackers.
Yeah.
Can't hit on the receiver for some reason. Hopefully that changes soon, but hey,
I mean, that's the thing. I actually have liked the wide receivers that Eric DeCosta has drafted. I like Hollywood. I like Bateman. It's just a matter of them not. They can't, be out on the field. I mean, Hollywood was out there, but he had injury issues as well. But he was productive. And then Bateman, like I said, 2 years in a row, he wasn't out there. So, like he said, hopefully third year is a charm. But I don't have an issue with the guys that Art DeCosta has drafted wide receiver wise. And I think
yeah,
they've been more productive than the guys that Aussie drafted.
kind of sort of. Give me what about James Prochet and Tylen Wallace? Give me a thought.
I feel like they don't get enough opportunity. Like I've been saying since last year, I never really had an issue with our wide receiver core. Always felt like they're not utilized the right way. So of course I'm good with all of the guys that we have coming back. They were talking about Duvernay on the radio earlier, and that he might be traded for cap space. And I'm just like, for what? Like there's no need to trade him. To me, I like Duvernay. Like I said, I like a lot of the guys that we have in wide receiver. They just need to have the opportunity. And now having a new offensive coordinator, I think that we'll see a lot more from those guys.
Yeah, plus he's too valuable on special teams to get rid of anyway. So I think that's just
Yeah.
all the smoke in the air.
You talking about Duvernay?
Second or third best receiver. Then he's our best kick returner.
Oh
Probably
yeah, definitely.
brings a lot of value for you just to try to ship away. Right?
Yeah.
You think you'll trade James Prochet or Tyler Wise if you want an extra pick?
If you want one. But
I,
would somebody trade for them? I don't know. I don't know if they've done enough to make a team say they want to trade for them,
very true. Very true.
production wise. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm like, play them. Play the guys you got.
Yeah,
I
whatever
mean,
you hope.
we need to bring people in. We know that we want to have competition. We want to have the best of the best that we can, right? But like I said, I've always been high on our wide receivers. But they're not the best. They might be paid the lowest in the league compared to other teams, but I don't think that they aren't capable of producing. They're just a matter of getting the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, when you play in a run heavy scheme like that, it definitely doesn't help you. Now Malcolm's going to utilize them more, so now they'll have a better shot. But I think is if they do have a solid year, and then this James Prochet last year of his contract, so if he
Hmm.
will have like 45, 50 catches, which is an amazing year for a guy like him, like 600 yards, more 5, 6 touchdowns. Do you bring him back, or you just like nah? Just it's only one year.
If he performs like that, I would. But it would depend on what he wants, because he might be able to get more elsewhere. But yeah, if he puts up a year like that, definitely I would want to bring him back. I'll be ready to sign him during a year if it's looking like he's, having a stellar year. I'll be ready to give him an extension in mid-season. Yeah, because the thing about it is have an offense, particularly offense, that has chemistry. So when you keep moving guys in and out, I mean, you're never going to get that. So yeah, if he comes in and has a great year, of course I want to have him back. Definitely.
Yeah, I like him. I hyped him up a lot. I watched him in college. The kid definitely can play. That just don't fall off the face of the earth.
Hmm.
I think it's off of just timing, routine, consistency. Like I said, constant chemistry, all that. They got to let the play. You can't have him go up there. You catch two passes, and then you
Right.
take.
And you told him once, right? That was part of our problem a lot last year. Guys come out there for a play or two, then they out. You can't get in a rhythm when you're really not on the field.
Absolutely.
So hopefully our new offensive coordinator can better utilize who we have.
For sure, for sure, for sure. I'm excited to see Charlie Kolar too, because he showed me a little something in the week 18, and he made a couple of tough catches. So
Hmm.
now we can finally tell Nick Boyle, adios.
Yeah, it's time for him to go.
He was stealing money last 2 years, man. I know he can block and all that, but you can get any tight end to come block. That ain't.
Hmm. Yeah, he'll probably be gone.
Yeah, so with that three-hitter monster with Andrews likely and Charlie Kolar, I want to see how that pans out. You know,
Definitely want to see. I wouldn't even mind saying likely line up the wide receiver sometimes. Like I just feel like we do have a lot of guys that we can use, and if you put them all on the field at one time, the defense wouldn't know who to defend. And if we can keep Lamar, prayerfully we can, but Lamar's a weapon in itself. So yeah, like I said, I like our guys. I've been saying that since last year. I'm not like a lot of people who come down on a wide receiver core because I just felt like they didn't get the opportunity, honestly. So I feel like we're going to see this year is going to be telling on a lot of levels. It's going to be very telling with a new offensive coordinator.
yeah, and the one that got a good track of getting guys good stats at receiver.
Hmm.
If he can't, so we can't get 400 or 500 yards out of James Prochet Wallace, you gotta let him go.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I'm ready to hear what they're going to say tomorrow when the Ravens at the podium at the combine. I know everything is going to be geared towards Lamar and the contract.
Yeah, you know that. EDC gonna hit him one day. We're working out best. We want him here. He wants to be here. Blah blah blah. He wants you with the okey doke.
Hmm.
You know. And
Well,
I
we
want.
still got a week. We have a week before we have to apply the tag, so we'll see what happens. If a
March,
deal will get done March
March,
7th, that's next Tuesday.
so it's March 7th. Why somebody said the fifth? Oh, free agency starts the 5th.
15th is yeah, 15th is the new league year. Hmm.
Like I said, we'll see though. We'll see. So,
Yeah.
but we'll say this and we can wrap it up. Like only other position I could see us using draft capital on is probably like I don't know. Safeties are pretty solid. Like I said, Chuck Clark is gonna be gone 9 times out of 10. I like Geno Stone. I like Darius Washington. So we can get another safety in the later rounds. That'd be cool. Like I said, we already, of course, we said corner. And another end
Hmm.
wouldn't help even in case Casey Queen wanna, force his way up.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, everyone, that's it. Today's show. We'll be back Thursday. Shannon gonna have some nice topics lined up for us. So definitely looking forward to that. Like I said, make sure y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. You know what I mean? Share with all your friends and family. Try to get these subscribers up. Man, make sure y'all trade Talking Ravens all day, every day. From your host, Justin P. And my co-host, the lovely Shannon Fitch. We see you guys Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And
See ya. Bye, Justin.